So I just got a message that we are visible great on phone. So I've told people to see if everything is okay. So we have got a thumbs up. So hello everyone. So we are here today. I'm Nikita Kapoor. I'm the owner of Peachling Publishers, and we are here today to take an interview of Pinky. So Pinky is a professional with 27 years of great experience, through which 20 years she worked as in many roles of senior leaderships and HR. In 2022, she started her practice as a qualified counselor and as a REBT practitioner.
That's
So
right.
those who don't know, REBT stands for Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy. In 2023, she developed a new purpose in her professional journey, that is of spreading awareness for employee emotional well-being. So Pinky is now also an author. Her recently published book, Belong to Yourself, is a testament to her expertise in the field. Oh, great. And Pinky, we are excited to have you here and taking your interview, and we are eager to learn more about your journey and insights. So how have you been, Pinky?
I have been good. And first of all, Nikita, let me really thank you for doing this. You have been
Most
going,
welcome.
taking extra efforts, and I must appreciate. I've always been a person of
Mhm.
gratitude. And before we begin, I must be thanking you for this. Yeah.
Most welcome. And I
You
am
and Urmi
honored.
have been a wonderful people to be around. Both of you girls in my book writing, both you girls, you and Urmi have been a great help, besides my family.
I have been honored that you considered me and my company Peachbling to publish your first book, and we are looking forward to publish as many as book you that you write. And I am going to motivate you and push you to write as many books as you can, because on personal level, I have to, as a human being, connected to your book very, very well. The type of content that you write, it should be spreaded to as many people as
Yeah,
possible. Okay, so
grateful.
let's start with our interview.
Sure,
So our first
please.
question.
I'm sure not going to make it difficult for me.
No, no, definitely not. It will just a
Remember all
casual
the good times
conversation.
we had together also, huh?
No, no. It is just going to be a conversation, and it is just going to be me understanding more about you and your journey. Okay,
Sure.
Pinky. So can you tell us something about your personal journey first, and what inspired you to write this amazing book, Belong to Yourself?
I have been born in a business family.
Mm-hmm.
So we have been five sisters. So I think from childhood, somewhere subconsciously, this was there in the mind of we girls that we need to do something which makes our parents feel proud.
Right.
So I think from a very early age, we were empowered to take decisions. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
our opinion mattered in the house. I
Mm-hmm.
can't really remember my dad taking up, any decision without including us. So from the very childhood, that respect for women was seen in my house very strongly from my father.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm born in a family of strong women. So all my sisters are like strong personalities, even if they are not professionals, but
Mm-hmm.
they are very strong personalities in themselves. So this has been my background. I finished my college and in no time I have, started working. So I
Okay.
have practically, Nikita, not done anything else but work. So it
Work.
really surprises me when people talk about something else. At times I feel I can't connect because that's all my recognition has been
Mm-hmm.
about my work.
Mm-hmm.
So I was 22 when I started working until the
Okay.
very last year I was an employee.
Mm-hmm.
Except that one year I had taken a break in between when my mom was going through severe menopausal health concerns.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I've always been there, periodically taking a break for my counseling course and my RABT course and stuff like this, but always been connected with work. So I think my work has always been, I think I have loved my work more than my family, if I can
Mm-hmm.
actually say it out. And that was so obvious. That was so obvious
Mm-hmm.
that it came to me so very first. Where writing the book is concerned, mm, of course, in my childhood, I was a very shy girl, a very complete introvert. So today, my
Mm-hmm.
sister's actually taken back because I was rather the timid of all of us. And today, the way I think my personality has shaped is because I think it makes people really, yeah, I was a very, very shy child. writing the book came to this thought process came to me in this year, the beginning of this year,
Mm-hmm.
because I think the last year itself was also very difficult for me. So this year I felt like, ho gaya. I have lived my whole life. I better
Mm-hmm.
write my life story. I better write a biography.
Mm-hmm.
Ho gaya hai mera sab kuch, I have lived. But then the girl that I am supposed to be, who's empowered, who's a rationalized thinker,
Mm-hmm.
I said, no, there has to be another new chapter to be added into my biography before
Right.
I close for the final.
Mm.
And then I said, let me write down about my strong feelings of the philosophy that I live with, and that is belong to yourself. So this is where it came into, my the thought process started shaping up in this year,
Mm-hmm.
and things just happened. They just, God has been extremely kind.
But it's amazing, coming at a certain age, people think that why should we do anything right now? How it will make sense? And this perception needs to change. And seeing you, people really would be inspired that no matter what our age is, we should not stop doing things, and especially doing things that matters to us specifically.
Sure, sure,
Yeah. So, Pinky, you have an amazing set of experience of 27 years in the corporate world, and within which, as I mentioned earlier, 20 years you worked on various roles like senior leadership and HR experience. How
sure.
did your corporate background influence your understanding of this emotional well being in the workplace? And can you share some specific experiences or challenges from your corporate career that led you to focus on this emotional aspect of the workplace?
That's a good question. Yeah. When I started this journey of my corporate life, of course, there were no plans. At 25 years back, we really never planned careers. Things used to actually happen to us in that sense. When I joined my last organization, which I stayed with them for like 20 years, it was a marriage. When I walked that path, nobody had walked that journey earlier.
Right.
Although that organization happened to be a very respected organization for me,
Okay.
something which I have actually derived my own personality and made a standing for myself. So I'm very
Mm-hmm.
thankful.
Mm-hmm.
The path I walked was never walked by anybody else earlier. It was created by me. So
Right.
although it was a 30 years old organization almost when I joined, there was nothing as an HR department.
Mm-hmm.
Till date, I don't have an appointment letter. I don't have a appraisal letter. I don't have a certificate. I don't have any rewards. The reason is there was only one senior to me, and that was the founder of the organization. And there was
Okay.
a huge gap between his caliber and for us.
Mm-hmm.
So who would really do this for me? Because I was establishing it, jointly with other members there. So nothing would come to me. It was for me to give it to the team in the other sense altogether. And of course, it's been challenging. One, because if you're a lady, there were no lady seniors in the
Obviously.
organization. If you're playing a senior leadership role, you're hurting many egos in the workplace at the same time. Yeah, so that
Happens
goes
today
without
also.
saying.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that is something which will not go away, Nikita. So it's
Mm.
not to be saying about any one particular organization. This is how the society is all about.
Right.
Then it was me playing the role of HR. Now with the organization which was almost 30 years old, they were
Mm.
not used to taking instructions from anybody else except the founder.
Right.
So when I as an HR, if I have to establish, make rules,
Mm.
it was challenging. It was not that I was accepted very easily by the team overall. When I joined, it was 600 employees. When I quit, it was almost 4,200 approximately.
Mm.
So that is the journey I have walked in the organization, which has been so deep,
Mm.
creating the new departments, doing things, I mean, so I have never been a conventional HR, jahan par HR ke bade jargons and terms hum use kar le, but I think I gave a very rich culture to the team. I
Obviously.
think today the team has been, it's a very respected team. It's my pride, and that team will always be my pride. So it's a very, I think that's what I really worked hard was building, a very strong culture in the
Mm.
organization, making a very strong bond between the management and the team. Because I think from beginning I was a nurturer,
Right.
Nikita. It came very
Right.
naturally. I
True.
was also nurturing. I think it comes naturally. That's why I never felt I'm not a mother. I think it came very naturally to me, even with my parents. even with my seniors at workplace. So as a nurturer, I was always wanting the bonding to be close between the management and the team, because you can work with rules and regulations, but if you don't have emotions and love and care and affection, you cannot go an extra mile. The team would not want to
True.
do something extra unless they are emotionally connected to you. So
Right.
emotion plays a very important role in any organization, which we try to overlook by seeing the skills and the expertise, but we forget skills and expertise can get you quality work. It cannot let the team do something within from their heart.
Right.
So if you want the team to be working from their heart, you have to be, bonding them together. So like, remembering their birthdays. Like I was very clear with the seniors also, like sending messages that, team's birthdays are there. They have to, wish my team on this matter. Pre-Diwali meetings, because I come from a retail background.
Right.
So pre-Diwali meetings, so including enjoyment of like picnics or probably a training, so and these things were never done earlier, so it was challenging. Convincing the the authorities also was a challenge overall, but I think I was blessed for their faith in me at the same time, and that's the support of my team and my team being balanced. Where we are talking about emotions now, that what got me actually work on, we try to overlook and not talk about things which are really sensitive at the same time.
True.
We talk about the major losses in life, loss of a parent, divorce, miscarriage, all those when it comes to personal life. How come we never want to discuss what happens in the professional life?
Right.
How come everything is so smooth and so clean and everything is so good in the professional life? Makes me, takes me by surprise, and nobody really wants to talk about it. So today, as we seniors, if we have left the corporate world, if today we are carrying that kind of an experience and we have been so closely working with the, the founders, imagine we as seniors, if we cannot bring, a kind of awareness, forget that change. Maybe Nikita, I'm nobody to bring a change in this world. I'm a very normal, normal human being. But even if I can bring some kind of awareness that emotions are so important at workplace, and आप बार बार अगर ये चीज को बोलते जाओगे ना, people are listening.
Right.
And when people are listening, it's going to affect them.
It
So
is going to.
directly अगर आपको result नहीं भी मिलता है ना, तो आपको indirectly result मिल ही जाएगा, जहाँ पे management's bonding with the team has to get closer. When they listen to that this kind of things are being spoken around, it creates a kind of awareness in the top management also, and they start getting closer to the team overall. So every time, it's not about we taking the credit. We could be an indirect source of, so for me, I think I'm just doing the same extension work what I was doing. Only the difference is earlier I was doing it for an organization where I was recognized for, and today I'm doing it on my own, and I'm trying to bring that awareness. But it's not difference मुझे दिख रहा है. बाकी my line of work even remains the same even today. So envy, negative emotions, envy, jealousy, they are so strong at workplace. They are so
Very
strong. They can
much.
spoil somebody's life.
True.
The people don't realize it spoils somebody's entire life because you envy, you're jealous. People want power. So, and this is, and we keep on saying this with the team. This is overall, Nikita. It's not that the human emotions are only with the team. It comes from top to bottom with everybody. Yeah.
Right.
So insecurity is a very strong emotion otherwise also. So these are the areas which I want to, bring in awareness, speak about it. I could be making a very, very small difference, but at least I will have some difference through that. So that's all I'm hoping for.
So there are many people I've also come across who has similar set of mindset, and they keep on saying that they want to do something, but they really are not acting upon it. And when I met you somewhere, I thought ki, yeah, you do have a similar perspective, but you are acting upon it, and that is what the main thing is. Because even if we speak and we have a different set of perspective, or we change or want to spread awareness somewhere, if we are keeping to ourselves and not doing something about it, then it is like nothing.
True.
So when we do something, even if that one person is listening to us, or we are changing one people's life, it would like be
Make a
the best
difference.
thing that, yeah, it could make a difference.
One change in somebody's life, a positive change. My God, we can't even imagine, Nikita.
Yes,
We could
true.
be a blessing to somebody's life,
Yes.
And to do these things, you're so right, because you have to make yourself somewhere not very acceptable. These things are not very acceptable in the corporate world when we talk about emotions. Let's be
True.
realistic about it. So this is going to make me further withdraw. It's not going to give me acceptance. It's not going to give me praise. It's not going to give me a lot of love, So, and I think I'm ready for it. I was always ready for it, and I always had a voice for that. So let's hope for the best in the coming years.
And it has been a fact, I would say, and even I have seen it, that you
Yeah.
have positively impacted many lives. Even I remember the first time I met you, I thought that, yeah, that ground level of thinking, that perspective, even if we have such a huge age difference, that's same. And I can freely say that I see you as a role model, and I'm sure that you might have impacted many people as a role model and as a leader also. So can you share some kind of examples with us in which you have impacted some people's life, and what are those journeys?
You'll have to bear me a little on this question, because when it comes to leadership, I would not want to let this question go in a waste, because
Definitely.
leadership is something which corporate world swears about, right?
Hmm.
The favorite training in an HR's list is supposed to be the leadership training.
Right.
कि हमने leadership training करवाई है. And I've always had an opinion, and a difference of opinion rather. We are doing a leadership program for what? I mean, first of all, is our organization empowering our team to be leaders?
Right.
Are we ready that our team should have a voice? If not, then we are trying to confuse our team, because we are expecting them to be leaders. When they're trying to be leaders, when they're trying to have a voice, we are pulling them down, that this is not what it is supposed to be. How we say this is how it is supposed to be. Then we are not creating leaders. So why are we wasting time in creating leadership programs?
Point.
Also, the trainer who stands for training, whether that member is taking a 1 day workshop, 2 day workshop, or 1 week workshop, how far has that trainer achieved something in himself or herself to be standing there as a leader and talking with thorough real experiences?
True.
It's not only about theoretical, otherwise सारे लीडर के बच्चे लीडर होते हैं ना, तो
Point.
कोई ट्रेनिंग की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ती ना, सारे लीडर के बच्चे लीडर होते हैं, घर में ही ट्रेनिंग मिल
True.
जाती है. So leadership is not something that can be taught to people and expected that this is how it should be. ये हमारा misconception है कि we want the team to take individual decisions. They need to be able to manage. So we have to be very clear that we want the team to be managing things. We are not creating leadership. और अगर हम leadership create करते हैं, then we have to give them the space to grow. They have to take decisions. They have to go wrong in their decisions. And then we are creating so as an organization, we need to stand and say that how many in our employees are leaders? Can we do that? So if we do not have leaders in the staff list of ours, then what is the sense of running those things? So either people are authority, or people are supposed to be, manager level supervisors. There's nothing as leadership role, because leadership needs a lot of conviction to be very real. You create a path which people, that is a path which you have walked yourself, and that is something that your team walks. The leadership is not only when you have a team under you, आप बोल देते हो, you are leading a team. Leaders also in real life, Nikita, it's not only at workplace. So what is your
Agree.
personality as a leader in your personal life? What are the decisions you take in your personal life? How much you have been able to be fair in your personal life? ये सारे आपके जो experiences है, ये सारे चीजें आपको leader बनाते हैं एक decision लेने में. And you do not afraid to be standing alone. Leaders are never wanting followers. Leaders will never want followers. You do not mind standing alone. That's the beauty and the quality of a leader. Lately, I had been for a business program, and I happened to meet, some of the business people there from the area of work that I have been there. I was, of course, they were very respected individuals. I was completely impressed by them, but I was not inspired by them, because I have worked with a living legend in my last organization.
Okay.
The founder has been a living legend. After working with him, if today somebody has to inspire me, well, that person has to really have that kind of caliber.
Right.
The founder, he himself is a celebrity in himself. The
Hmm.
founder today, if he sits in a room, he doesn't need anybody else. There cannot be a celebrity if he's sitting in a room. He
Okay.
himself is a celebrity. So
Okay.
that's the kind of people that I have worked with. When
Hmm.
coming to my point of influencing people, well, how I wish my team could have said this. But yeah, I think 90% of the key positions in my last organizations are
Hmm.
the members who have been promoted from within the organization. I would say
Oh,
90% plus, yeah.
great.
And the reason is I did not want to do this because I was an HR, but I could
Hmm.
see what they could not see in themselves.
Hmm.
I could see the capability, and it is not only juniors I'm talking, I'm seeing the key positions. I'm saying
Hmm.
all the, major positions.
Hmm.
I could see the caliber in them, which probably they could not see. So
Hmm.
you impact a life in a much more broader way than just passing knowledge. You make
True.
somebody's life, personal and professional.
Hmm.
You understand their grief. You understand where they are standing. You become a role model. You sacrifice. I can't remember when we went for a vacation when we were at a workplace.
Oh.
I can't. And it was just not me, my entire senior line of people. And we were not refused. We were not
Hmm.
refused. The culture of our working was so strong
Hmm.
that we felt we were so important and required at our workplace.
Hmm.
For years, we could not, go for a holiday.
Hmm.
We never felt the need of it. And even today, when people tell me, okay, now you parted with the corporate world, अब जिंदगी को जी
Hmm.
लो. अब हमारी पैटर्न ही वैसी हो गई है. I cannot leave. I'll go mad if I don't work.
You don't do
Even
right.
one day
Huh?
without my work, I'll go mad.
Hmm.
I can't enjoy life. I don't know how to do it any other way. I don't know any other way to live life.
Hmm.
So that's the kind of an impact you make on yourself and on your team. And
Hmm.
that is when your team starts believing in you. बोलना तो बहुत आसान हो जाता है, उस पर आप कितना खुद चलते हो.
Hmm.
What is that you've been able to, show with an example in my personal life
Hmm.
also. How I live my life creates an impact on so many others, whether it is my family members, where I reside, my building people.
Hmm.
So all this matters when you
It
know
does.
want to
Hmm.
impact people. Yeah, yeah. And
True. True.
I've never been a very although I'm very loving by nature, but I've been the toughest. I think I was tough than the founder of the organization, also where decisions were concerned. I
Hmm.
was very tough, yeah. Even when I had to part with the most loved ones of my,
Hmm.
members, but I think where professionalism and work was concerned, nobody came first to me. Even today, I don't think I can give that place to anybody else where my work is concerned.
Hmm. And you
So
should
you,
not
you
also. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, but well, you have to become bad for that, Nikita. You are, it's not easy, and especially अगर आप HR वाले हो तो आप ऐसे भी left out, you are anyways not a very accepted person.
Right.
So उसके
Hmm.
बाद अगर आपका बर्ताव ऐसा है तो आप तो और भी different हो जाते हो. But yeah, this
Hmm.
is how I am.
But I've seen like the even if I talk about in corporate world or in personal life, I have experienced this myself also. No matter how loving a person consider us, the minute we set our boundaries, even if it is for us in our personal life or during our corporate life or experience, the minute we set our boundaries, that is very basic and natural. People tend to consider us rude or they literally tell us that you are not a good person. So this perception, we should respect each other boundaries, and even if a person is being so friendly and loving, we should always know that there's a limit to everything. I guess we discussed this once we met in for the
We
first time
met.
also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Great.
But I was blessed. I think, Nikita, that happened very naturally to me. My team, that's why I say
Hmm.
my team is my pride. I think I
Right.
would have never been able to be what I am. The only thing I miss about my last organization is my team. So I
Hmm.
think, my team allowed me to be the person I
Hmm.
was. They accepted me the way I was at the same time,
Hmm.
knowing that I was a balanced person when it came to nurturing and also being strict.
Hmm.
So I think they believed in me. I think it was a blessing. I think I can tell you today my team is the best in this world.
Oh man, they will be very honored to have you as a leader. So, like, I can
Yeah,
feel that too. Like, having you as an author, I always say I am much, much, much honored and grateful that you chose me, literally. So, Venki, coming to a bit to personal life, during the year of 2019 and 2022, you went through a period of significant loss and changing trauma with passing of both of your parents. So, how did these experiences shape your perspective on like personal responsibility and emotional well-being?
Uh, it's so hard to ever put it into words, and maybe that is the reason in my book
Obviously.
I did not want to cover up that so much because
Mm-hmm.
I think I did not want my readers to go with wet eyes. So I think I was a little more concerned and not putting it too much in the depth. Also, I think this was the first time that I was revisiting those memories while writing the book. So I wanted to safeguard my own self also because this trauma has been major in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, my dad and mom, of course, at certain stage, everybody loses their parents. So people really don't, understand the depth of it. But I think the kind of bonding my parents had with me or my sisters, so
Mm-hmm.
it was so deep. It was so deep, Nikita, that we were fortunate to have parents like them. I mean, nothing else mattered to them except we. So they had only lived for us. So imagine
Mm-hmm.
the kind of love and affection that was shared. I was 45 or 46 when I lost my mom.
Mm-hmm.
That was the long years that I had lived with them. I never felt I was grown up till then.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the only family physically for me.
True.
So after I lost mom and dad, and that was within 10 months.
Right.
So, it was when we lost mom, we were still trying to understand. I think I was most closest to my mom. I think she was the biggest cheerleader of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So when I lost mom, I think I had lost the ground of leaving. I felt I couldn't leave then.
I completely understand. It's like
Like even today, I can break down when I talk about it.
it's been such a huge period of time, like you have
Yeah,
been with someone, especially your parents, and I even if I say that I understand, I really
yeah.
cannot understand the phase that you have been through.
And I think it's just not losing the parent. I think the journey that we
Yes.
walk, Nikita,
Yes.
of the time that they are parting with us, just before that, a month or two,
Mm,
those memories of we taking care of them,
mm,
or maybe when they have, just lost their life, certain things like giving Agni Dan to them, taking, doing the last rituals of both my parents within 10 months
mm.
was tough.
Stuff. And
And
no amount of pain can, there, I don't think there is
yeah.
any more greater pain than this.
Yeah, and this is going to stay with for their lifetime. This kind
Right.
of pain doesn't go, Nikita. It's just that you
Mm,
start leaving by accepting the reality.
mm,
But this kind of because the reality that you'll never see them again. Na?
true.
The best part is, in your good times, forget the bad. I would never want anybody to be there in my bad times with me, but in my good times,
Mm,
you don't have them to celebrate with you.
mm,
And so this was very, very hard for we sisters. I think all my sisters broke, and today I can talk on behalf of all my sisters. They
mm,
all broke, Nikita. They all broke, and I think none of them will ever be the same that they were, including me.
no, never. Mm,
And I think with me it became a little more because I had nothing back to fall back on. With them, they had their immediate family as a blessing, including their
mm,
children. But for me, I think for that emotional need,
mm,
I didn't have anything to fall back on. And 21 was again COVID. So
mm.
19, I lost mom. 20, I lost dad. 21 was COVID again. I
COVID.
was living a life in isolation and with all the negativity around, and with this pain of losing them both. Parting with their, things in the house was not easy, Nikita. I
It
mean,
isn't right.
yeah, yeah. Something that they have always used for themselves. Parting those memories from the house was very, very painful.
Mm,
As a girl alone, doing the paperwork, doing the things which are required for, on the property front, and all those responsibilities, you suddenly become the man of the house also, where you take up all the responsibilities.
mm,
22 again had, uh, uh, acute pain in my life again. So I felt like, okay, now this is done. Now in 19 to 22, like, what is there? What is happening? But I think God wanted me to understand pain so that I could understand others' pain,
true.
Nikita. I today I can understand people's pain when I sit with anybody, even for 10 minutes. They say, you understand us. Well,
Hmm.
I'm not born with a degree of understanding, but I think the kind of journey that I have walked, and it's just not painful journey, but my awareness makes me realize where the opposite person is standing in
Hmm.
life. So pain makes you realize how much it can be, you know, a suffocation for somebody else at the same time. So I think,
Everyone
yeah,
takes it differently, and I
yeah,
understand that whenever I say that I understand, but I'll definitely not understand until and unless I walk on the same path. I can try to understand as much as I
yeah,
try, but I never can completely
yeah,
understand that pain until unless I don't experience it myself.
yeah,
And I guess
yeah,
this, in your, not only in this years but your entire years of experience, you went through this kind of experience, because now today when you share it, people will may not have to experience it, but now they'll understand through your book, through your motive and objective of awareness. So your journey, your understanding, what life has taught you now through your books, I really hope that people buy it, not for the sake of buying it, but the
yeah.
sake of educating themselves. And I personally, even if I publish this book of yours, that I've personally worked on it, and how much it has meant me. It has opened my eyes in various ways. Like it in the first half of the book, if we talk about your work, I related it because it is generally of the beginning phase of your life. But we go further, even if I could not relate, it helped me to, gear up for what is going to come in the later parts of my life, when you talk about after 25, after 30, after 40, menopause and everything. Even if I have long way to go, or people of my generation have long way to go, it purely shielded us. It gave us those facts and figures and everything, that this is going to come and you need to get up, and we are going to go out of it, it's as normally and as gracefully as we can. So this is
True.
how your book, yeah, has helped me.
I'm so
So when we talk
grateful.
about,
Yeah.
yes, so when we talk about your book, in your book you talk about realizing how that you are responsible for yourself. That is what your book name is. And in be it in any aspect of your life, can you elaborate on what this realization means to you, and how it influence your life choices?
It's very easy to say belong to yourself.
Hmm.
But when you say, just एक आप खाली philosophy को propaganda कर दो, but वो philosophy पर आप जियो नहीं, तो फिर वो philosophy का मतलब नहीं है. You
Right.
cannot, your confidence doesn't come by you propaganda your philosophy. It comes by you living on your philosophy. So that confidence comes when you're authentic within, when you say belong to yourself.
Hmm.
And where responsibility is concerned, I think I can't remember my life when I was not responsible.
Hmm.
From the very early age of my life, I
Hmm.
was given the responsibility where family was concerned. My work was a very, very highly demanding work life.
Hmm.
So responsibility was huge where it was concerned.
Hmm.
So I think responsibility has anyways been with me as my second identity, if I can, put it across that way.
Hmm.
Now, when we talk about, belong to yourself, first of all, what are the ways of belong to yourself when you say, आज physical aspect पे, how do we take care of certain things? Today, if I'm living alone,
Hmm.
when I say belong to yourself, if every second I'm trying to go and ask for help and say I'm lonely and मुझे please संभाल लो, that
Hmm.
is not what you mean belong to yourself, where you're trying to, be needy at the same time. You
Hmm.
become self-sufficient. Today, when I live alone physically, I'm my own responsibility. So today, when as a woman, I know that it is not safe for me to go out, I should not be going out in the night time because
Hmm.
there's no men with me. So when you say you belong to yourself physically, you bring that kind of awareness in your life at the same time, where
Hmm.
you create that path for you. I
Hmm.
can't remember मैंने late night show कब देखा होगा last movie का. So you
Hmm.
become responsible when you
For
say you
yourself.
belong to yourself physical need. When you
Hmm.
talk about your financial need, I've always been an earning person. So even
Hmm.
when I had my dad there, I've always been doing it for myself. So
Hmm.
that comes as, I think that has made me the woman I am today. The reason I feel empowered is because I've always earned for myself. So when you say belong to yourself, that independence of, just not having money, but earning the money at the same time as a woman also,
Mm.
it's very essential for us. How do you budget yourself? Today, at the age of 50, if
Mm.
financially I'm taking care of myself, how am I budgeting myself?
Mm.
Am I overspending? Am I trying to limit my, choices today? These are the
Mm.
awareness that you need to leave when you say you belong to yourself, because you need to take care of yourself in every aspect. So
Right.
whether I had a choice whether I go for a holiday or whether I write a book, I had to invest.
Mm.
I said I'll invest in a book.
Mm.
I can't remember when I went for a holiday. So you make wise choices for yourself with that kind of awareness when you say you belong to yourself. Emotionally, it's not easy, Nikita, when you wake up in the morning in an empty house. You open the door and you come to an empty house. So you cannot be miserable if you are being alone, and then you say I belong to myself, but you are depressed, you're miserable. How are you belonging to
Right.
yourself?
Mm.
That you need to work on yourself and fulfilling yourself in those aspects, where for days, I think for months, I don't see any of my loved one. None of my sisters are in town. So
Mm.
I don't see my loved ones for months, some of my sisters for years.
Mm.
But you live with that reality, right? So you don't see any of your own person, but you fill up your own self at the same time. You find measures to fill yourself emotionally. You don't have a hug.
Mm.
आप कितना भी बड़ा achievement कर कर आ जाओ, आप अकेले खुशी मना रहे हो घर पर. Because I never understood what friends are, because when we grew up, we were sisters, 5 sisters, and we had very less age gap.
Mm.
So we all were sufficient. We never felt the need of friends.
Mm.
When I came to my work life, I used to, in my initial years, I used to return home at 11 in the night, because that was a kind of an expansion that the organization was going into. तो friend
Mm.
जिसके लिए time ही नहीं है ना. I had no time to make
Mm.
friends, and I was except work तो कुछ समझ में नहीं आता था. So today suddenly I'm asked if friends बना दो, ये बना दो, नहीं होता है. Today I have my small world,
Mm.
and I have some very good people, and I'm happy about it. You fulfill your spiritual life at the same time. You fulfill your needs of your life go up. How do you fulfill your needs by yourself,
Mm.
is what you mean when you say belong to yourself.
True. True.
Emotional, physical, financial, spiritual. Yeah.
And I guess that's important. I really got that part when you say that, when we say that I belong to myself, that we spread that message of belong to yourself. If you're coming back home and you are depressed, and that clarity which you gave, that
Yeah, yeah,
explanation which you
yeah,
gave, that was very important.
yeah,
Because there are many people, just for the sake of publicity and this and that, we see that just for the sake of publicity and
yeah,
gaining follower
yeah,
and everything, they create this
yeah,
fake environment around them,
yeah.
and that's not healthy. So if you're
Like,
following, hmm,
sorry, go
tell
ahead.
me, tell me. No, that's
Like, even if you
what I'm.
fall ill,
Hmm.
you take
Hmm.
care of yourself in that manner also, Nikita. Okay, you don't allow yourself to even fall ill easily,
Exactly.
is
Hmm.
because you're going to bother somebody else to take care of you, to stop
Hmm.
their life and come and take care about you. So
Hmm.
even some night when I'm with my high fever, I'm somehow taking care of myself in the morning when I wake up, and मुझे लगता है कि मैंने एक हासिल कुछ कर लिया है, जैसे I could take care of myself with that high fever also.
Hmm.
So you take care of yourself in those way. You don't bother others from the life that they are living.
Hmm.
Nor do
Hmm.
you envy them.
Right.
Not that so
Point.
when you see a happy family, आप अगर आप रो रहे हो, आप envy करते हो कि मेरे पास ये नहीं है, then that's not called belong to yourself. So
Exactly.
that so you see happy family, you see happy couples, you see everything around. Of course, it gives you concern, where I would see, like, I where I would say that I miss my parents, or I miss my, especially my younger sister, when I see those happy people there, because that's how we four used to live at one time. But
Hmm.
beyond that, I don't think anything really makes me unhappy or envy people in that sense. I think
True.
I get
True.
very happy. मुझे कोई अपनी खुशी बताता है ना, मैं
Hmm.
बहुत खुश हो जाती हूँ. I
I've
get
seen that personally. Whenever when we talk about each other on personal ground, whenever I share something about myself or my personal life, I can literally feel that happiness from your side throughout the phone. So that's the reason I'm so comfortable telling to you
yeah,
about my personal life, apart from the
yeah,
professional.
I
So,
agree.
Pinky, at the age of 50, you are still unmarried. Can you discuss the role of relationships as well as self-discovery in your life journey and how it relates to the concept of belonging to yourself.
See, unmarried is by choice. I'm unmarried
Right.
today, so there is no unhappiness. I don't
Hmm.
see anybody looking at me and saying कि बेचारी की शादी नहीं हुई, लड़की का क्या होगा
Hmm.
करके. I don't think anybody gives me sympathy in this world because सबको लगता है कि she can handle it.
Hmm.
वो भी drawback
Hmm.
भी हो जाता है कभी-कभी. But at this, but at the same
Hmm.
time, so me being unmarried is by choice. For
Choice.
me, marriage. I believe in marriage a lot. For
Hmm.
me, see, there are various reasons why people get married.
True.
One is companionship,
Hmm.
one is because they need security,
Hmm.
they need to make a family, or
Hmm.
probably they need to, have a purpose in life. या तो फिर societal pressure. ये वजह से लोग, people want to
Right.
get into marriage.
Right.
I think for me, getting married or having a partner in my life would be because I would want to share my life.
Hmm.
So I would not want my partner to deem me.
Hmm.
I would not want that person to tell me, okay, you have to change yourself or your personality or your work. I think we have to have that like-mindedness to be together with the work because my work is my life. So I need to have that commonness in some area to be
Hmm.
associated. आप unmarried तो हो, but आपके पास फिर भी partner है. These days, unmarried is not a big deal. No, but you have a partner in your life.
Right.
So I live my life as not as a single in that sense where you're unmarried, but you don't even have a partner in your life as a man.
Hmm.
So यहाँ पर you start, you know, giving yourself understanding. I like today, if you ask me who's my best couple, it would be Javed Akhtar and Shabana Azmi.
True. Hmm.
Nasruddin Shah and his wife. The reason is
Hmm.
because the kind of exchange of work that they have, the kind of personalities that they are,
Hmm.
it should flourish. Relationship needs to
Flourish.
flourish you.
Yes.
It cannot stop you. It has to flourish. You need to enjoy that life
Hmm.
together. फिर वो कितने भी साल की आपकी life रहे ना, but it
Hmm.
has to bring you that kind of a fulfillment where marriage is concerned.
Hmm.
So for me,
Hmm.
being single is a choice. ऐसा तो कभी हुआ ही नहीं कि कोई लड़का देखने आया हो और उसने रिजेक्ट किया कि मैंने उनको मना कर दिया. तो
Hmm.
वो तो हमारे घर में कभी हुआ ही नहीं है, of
Hmm.
arranged marriage thing, because my dad and my mom were very open that,
Hmm.
it is okay. You all can do what you all wish to do. The way my all sisters got married
Hmm.
pretty early, except my younger one. So I think they
Hmm.
were very open for us to be able to live the life that we want to live. But I think my
Hmm.
work, I think my reasons were different. Or shayad if I was married today, probably I would have a child and my world would become really small, Nikita.
Hmm.
I
And
wouldn't
it's
be able to
hmm.
do so much in the other areas today, which I can afford to
That's
do.
what I was coming up to. Yeah. It's your choice. And see, I think the world is changing. People are accepting the fact that we need to give each other, even if we are friends or in a family, that liberty to choose what kind of life we want to lead. When I
True.
talk about my parents, also, I can relate to you very much that the way your father and your mother gave you that freedom. I should not say gave, that let you, they
They
knew that
liberated me, yeah.
yeah, freedom is nothing to be given. So they had that kind of environment made that you are the leader of your life. It's your life. You can choose whatever way you want to lead your life. And so my parents are similar. So they're like, whatever, if you want to do a job, you can work in the corporate. If you want to have something of your own, you can do it. So there's no kind of pressure. And this is what helps us to flourish and
True.
increase that creative mindset of ours. And it
True.
has happened with me, and so I can relate with you
It
also. So
It gives
coming,
you an
yeah,
encouragement for you to live the life that you want to. Although
exactly.
society is not easy, Nikita. So today,
Yes.
as a single woman at the age of 50, you
Hmm.
have to ensure that, it's not easy. Your acceptance, or let me be, I mean, that way, it's not about India or being, out of India, but the mindset of a single woman is still not acceptable in our
Hmm.
country. Bichari ka kuch reason raha hoga. Some men would be there in her life, somewhere behind for the way she's being.
Hmm.
So that kind of a mindset of people is still there
That
of, of your
judgmental
sing.
mindset. Yes, yes,
And then
yes,
how are
yes.
you doing it like today?
Hmm.
आप एक beyond certain thing, you also want to withdraw yourself because you are still single. So you know how the world will look at you. आप भी
Hmm.
consciousness में आ जाते हो, एक self conscious में भी आप आ जाते हो. So the acceptance is not very easy. Even today, when we talk about single woman, it is just that
Okay.
you have to start leaving it in your mind that what are the reasons that you are unmarried. Are you depressed about being unmarried? Then please go and find a partner. If not,
Right.
leave it with the capability. And then अगर फिर हमें बोला जाए कि आप तो बेचारे थोड़ा sober हो जाओ, तो then you have to be a man to yourself also. You play
True.
a dual role. You know,
True.
you be a man and a woman both to
Both.
yourself. You become a child for yourself also. You play all the roles,
You have to
Nikita.
literally belong to yourself in every
In
way
true
possible.
sense.
Yes.
In true
So
sense.
coming back to your book, in your book, you emphasize the importance of gratitude and having a better relationship oneself. Can you provide us with some practical advice or techniques for readers and the viewers here who would want to start this journey of self-improvement?
ग्रैटिट्यूड को आजकल बहुत इजीली हम ये वर्ड को यूज कर लेते हैं. आई थिंक आफ्टर कोविड एवरीबडी वांट्स टू टॉक अबाउट ग्रैटिट्यूड, but really how much we really understand what is gratitude. Gratitude is just not having everything and being grateful.
Okay.
Gratitude is more of when you don't have everything and yet you're grateful.
Oh,
So you
that's very
know
powerful.
that, yeah, so you know you don't have everything and yet you are grateful. That's called gratitude. आपके पास सब कुछ है तो आप grateful हो नहीं वाले हो ना.
Right.
But the realization is that you have to know that you don't have it, and then yet you are very grateful for, you know, the life that you are living. The many things that you don't have, you start finding a blessing in that. Okay, if I don't have this, this is the blessing that I don't have. Instead of you sitting and criticizing and crying about it, आप उसमें अपनी blessing ढूंढते हो कि this was not given to me in this lifetime. There was a reason. There is a blessing for
Right.
it. You know, there's a blessing for it. You don't go blaming people. You don't go about crying about it. You don't sit down and, you know, cry in front of God for things in that sense. I think today when I pray, I don't ask anything for myself, Nikita. I'm only saying thank you to God every single day. I don't remember when I really asked anything from God the last. I think it just comes from a place of gratitude where God has given me so much, because I see so much of pain and distress around. And when I look at myself, I feel that, you know, nobody can be as fortunate as me. When
That's
I talk
very
about being
rare.
unmarried, yeah, and when I talk about being unmarried, and I have the, you know, the examples of marriage in front of me, which, you know, so those things are not, that's something that you would want to sit down and, you know, just be tick mark in your life कि ये भी कर लिया, ये lifetime में ये 10 चीजें तो करनी है. Life doesn't go that way.
Right.
When we talk about, you said self-improvement, is that what your question was?
Yes.
सेल्फ इम्प्रूवमेंट पर बहुत आजकल ये होता है निकिता. द प्रॉब्लम इज people are, you to get into self improvement, you first have to get into self realization.
Very true.
Very true. People are not working on self realization, people are working on self improvement. How am I looking? How are my outer appearance? My body shape? My skills? My knowledge? Well, everything is important. My full due respect to all of them, that's it's all required. बट ये सारी चीजें आउटर अपीयरेंस के लिए हम कर लेते हैं. Nobody wants to talk about wisdom. Nobody wants to talk about resilience. Nobody wants to talk about compassion. Nobody wants to talk about kindness. Nobody wants to talk about empathy. So human traits को तो हम self realization में ला ही नहीं रहे, सिर्फ self improvement में जा रहे. Having knowledge and having wisdom. So with full due respect to the today's generation, you'll are definitely here to conquer so much. But there's one concern is knowledge wise far better than our generation was. But when it comes to wisdom, that is something which, you know, which lacks, which because they are so much upgrading themselves skill wise कि हमें लगता है जिसको skills आती है, जिसके पास knowledge है, they are supposed to be the best around at workplace also. But are we seeing the human traits where somebody might not know their job very well, but they have human traits. जिसमें human traits है ना, आप उसको skill सिखा सकते हो. जिसमें skills है ना, उसको आप human traits सिखाओ, ये necessary नहीं है.
And it's also not necessary that that person is willing to learn that.
Absolutely. Human traits cannot be taught.
Yes.
You cannot teach. Yeah, you cannot teach. तो मुझे कभी कभी लगता है जब हम ट्रेनिंग की भी बात करते हैं in a corporate world, सारी ट्रेनिंग्स हम टीम के लिए डिसाइड करते हैं ना, टीम मैनेजमेंट, टाइम मैनेजमेंट, एवरीथिंग दैट इज रिलेटेड टू टीम. एंड आई वंडर सबसे ज्यादा टीम को कौन हैंडल करता है? द टॉप पीपल. वहां पे क्यों ट्रेनिंग नहीं हो रही है? Why human traits are not getting taught on the top level? all the trainings are getting done for the down the line team. ये सिखा दो, वो सिखा दो, team को कैसे handle करते हैं. Yes, the managers, everybody is supposed to learn how to handle a team, how to handle the overall team. Being an employer does not give us the qualification of knowing that we are the best where human traits are concerned. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. So these are the aspects जहाँ पर हम बहुत ज़्यादा self, improvement की बात करते हैं, but we don't work on self realization. कि where are we lacking? What is it we need to do? Are we trying to understand what are our weaknesses? Are we trying to see somebody else's pain in life? आप ये चीजों को अगर ठीक से समझते हो ना, आपके रिश्ते भी बहुत खूबसूरत हो जाते हैं निकिता. आप बहुत हेल्दी बाउंड्रीज करते हो रिलेशन में. रिलेशन शुड नॉट चोक यू. You need to draw healthy boundaries. I think today my spiritual life has helped me where I can attach, I can detach easily at the same time. This all comes to you when you walk into self-realization. That came to me not very easily, but I think I made efforts towards it. Yeah.
No, I've seen in personal life as well and in my professional life as well, there are very few times that we accept or we think about, we don't self-realize things or our mistakes when I say, and we are more faster in pointing out others' things. So, that's very difficult. किसी और की गलती या किसी और का चीज point out करने में we, and I'm speaking including me, I'm not saying that I'm the great,
all of us,
but yes, all of us, when we think about that aspect, that if I tell myself that इसकी कोई गलती निकालनी है, so I won't take within a minute also. But when it comes to self-realization or self-accepting something, that's the most difficult. But I think it is the most important as well. And
it's paying respect to the other human being, Nikita.
Yes.
आप किसी को हर्ट और आप पेन कभी नहीं करोगे अगर आप अपने कॉन्शियस में रहते हो तो. Even if you take the worst of decisions in life, you will never cause pain because your conscious will not allow you to hurt somebody else.
Right.
Your respect for your next human being, whether it is your help, house support, or anybody at the same time. आप में अगर इंसानियत की रिस्पेक्ट नहीं है ना, आप कितना भी बड़ा ज्ञान दे दो, उसका कोई मतलब नहीं है फिर. Your human traits, because for how long will you can pretend a pretendance life? ना कब तक एक pretendance और एक fake life जियोगे? कब तक? There comes a time when that's false ceiling गिरने वाली है. So how long will you pretend? That pretendance life. But when you work on self-realization, you realize good, bad, everything of your life you accept, you realize, and you work on it. Your intentions have never been wrong. Your intentions have to be right. आपका इंस्टिंक्ट भी बहुत स्ट्रांग रहता है जब आप अपने इनर सेल्फ के साथ कनेक्टेड रहते हो ना निकिता. आपका इंस्टिंक्ट भी बहुत स्ट्रांग रहता है where you can tell that this is not a good thing to do, or maybe this is not the right energy. You can connect to your inner self. आपको बहुत advice, you don't need to take too much of advice from others. You are listening to your inner voice. Your inner voice is telling you, Pinky, stop, this is not right. So your instinct is also very strong when you connect to your true inner self at the same time.
That to be aware of not only the surrounding but what's going on inside us, to be conscious every time. I guess that would be the key to success in today's generation, because I also can see, being from this generation, I can see it in myself too, that when we are in a conversation or we are in a negative conversation, rather than realizing what I should realize about myself, I have that faster pace of removing that negative points of others. So I think this being aware, being conscious, being understanding about what our inner thoughts are will really help me and this generation to not hurt others and to be in that complete conscious.
One is you understanding, and then what are you doing about it?
Yes.
Knowledge to see, that's the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge तो आ गई कि ये चीज गलत है, पर किया क्या फिर आपने? It's your wisdom which will help you to take the next step after knowing that it was wrong, right? So it is your wisdom which has to be on place with your knowledge.
So not only understanding but doing something about it. Yes.
Very essential.
That's how the change will occur, right?
Right. And that's the thing between I think our generation, and if I can say about today's generation, even if I don't have children, I am so well connected with this today's generation, is I felt I think our generation is not changing y'all. Y'all are changing us.
Hmm.
Because the reason is we are not been able to change y'all with our experiences. Y'all are changing us with your skills and your knowledge.
Hmm.
Because today's world has become more of your outer appearance, which y'all are far better than we are, our
Hmm.
generation.
But I
So
think it
today,
should be a two-way street. Normal, like even if
it
we say
should.
that we say that our generation is more enhanced with the skill set and all, but as you mentioned that we lack that point of wisdom, which I also agree. So it should be a two-way street. Like even if we are technologically advanced, we can teach you that technology, and we also have to
True.
have that
True.
willpower to accept that what do we
Except, yeah.
require more.
It's an exchange. It's an exchange. It's an
Yes, yes.
exchange. It's an exchange which doesn't happen. I
Hmm.
think it just happens one way.
Hmm.
And that's the reason probably the generation who has really worked hard, they feel that, we are not belonging today anywhere because we
Hmm.
don't have this particular skill set with us. So I think more exchange of culture and exchange of ideas is at the same time very essential between the two generations.
Great. So, when you coming about to your book again, how do you envision your readers to, make difference after reading your book, and what message or feeling do you hope they would take away from it?
See, we all learn from each other,
Right.
Nikita.
Hmm.
It's not because only that I've gone in a trauma that I can be somebody's teacher in this life.
Hmm.
That doesn't give me a qualification to be a teacher in to teach life to somebody just because I experienced a trauma.
Hmm.
But kind of a woman that I am, the
Hmm.
kind of, choices I have made in life, the kind of a risk that I have taken, I have
Hmm.
been able to fulfill myself. These are the lessons which I have learned while doing all that. If these lessons can make some difference in somebody's life,
Okay.
that is the reason, right, to write a book is not because I know better than anybody else out here. No, that's not
Hmm.
the idea at all. Sometimes I feel I don't know anything about it, and how I wish I had children to teach me so many things of like you teach me at times so many things. Yeah, so, so, uh, so it is not about knowing everything, but it is letting people know that I take efforts while writing a book is like taking efforts because that's the purpose of my life today is to heal people, is to help people out,
Hmm.
support people. So that is if my book can do that in some manner because या तो जिंदगी में Nikita people are living on the cloud nine or
True.
people are living beneath the ground. पीपल आर नॉट लिविंग ऑन द ग्राउंड तो जब आपका टाइम बहुत अच्छा आता है ना आप क्लाउड नाइन पे रहते हो आपको लगता है कोई जिंदगी की तकलीफ
Hmm.
आने ही नहीं वाली है
Hmm.
या तो यू आर सफरिंग इन लाइफ एंड यू आर लिविंग बीनीथ एंड यू फील you'll never come back on the ground.
Hmm.
Life is how you live on the ground. And
True.
that's where when we read books or when we part knowledge with others, is that what we need to teach about, things instead of just teaching about and talking about things, but life को कैसे आप जी लो. I wish how अपने education में कहीं पर ये होता.
It
Like
should
counselors,
be.
I
Yeah,
know,
it
I
should
know.
be. It should
Although there is
be.
no preparedness where trauma is concerned, being a REBT practitioner, I cannot say I can handle trauma better than anybody else. There is no prescription for that.
Hmm.
My emotions are my own,
Hmm.
but at the same time, so our education does not teach us. Today, schools have counselors, and that's what I
Hmm.
feel. At workplaces, why are we? There are no counselors to listen to the employees.
Right.
Where does the employees go and talk about?
Hmm.
So when you're in schools we are advocating so much of having counselors around. At workplace, where do people really go and talk about their feelings? Whom do they
Right.
open up to?
I never thought about this. Yeah. But
Yeah.
even when we talk about schools, also nowadays we can see that there are many counselors.
There is a
Back in the
change
days when
awareness. Yeah.
I was even in the school, we never had a counselor. Yeah.
हमारे टाइम पे तो
So
काउंसलर का कॉन्सेप्ट भी
concept
नहीं था.
ही नहीं था या मतलब we had
कॉन्सेप्ट
counselor
ही
but
नहीं था.
बाहर जाके we could
या
go and
कॉन्सेप्ट ही नहीं
see.
था या एज अ
Hmm.
प्रोफेशन वैसा कोई कॉन्सेप्ट भी नहीं हुआ करता था सो इन एग्रीड एंड व्हेन आई वाज इन स्कूल और कॉलेज इट वाज देयर बट दीस डेज इट्स गेटिंग सो स्ट्रांग इन schools also because that's what people are realizing that you need to express yourself. Somebody has to be a listener and to guide you
Obviously.
without having their vested interest. So कहीं पर वर्क प्लेस पर ये चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट करती है.
Important.
And let's
Okay.
hope I get some right people to collaborate in future.
Definitely, definitely. So when we
Yeah.
coming to the final last question, and talking about a future more. Could you share your long-term goals with us and your aspiration for continuing to support the people in this journey of yours and specifically towards self-employment and that emotional well-being?
ये सवाल अगर आप मुझे लास्ट ईयर पूछते ना तो मेरे पास कोई जवाब ही नहीं था. I was lost in life. Today, when you ask me, I think empowered, and I think I can answer this question today. Uh, I look, of course, when professionally, I don't believe in growing in life. I believe in flourishing in my life. And that is the reason I don't want to make my, a narrow pathway for myself. I think I want to do, today I have the freedom at this age to do too many things. So I want to write a book. I want to be there as a healer for people. I want to, do things otherwise also as a, as a coach for emotional employment. There are so many areas. I want to bring forward those stories which needs to be heard. People are suffering when they don't have a closure in their personal relationships, closure in their professional relationships. I know so many people who are suffering because they didn't get a closure. So I would want to do that. I would want to bring them up front. And, today what you are doing with me is something that I would want to do with them, Nikita, where I want to bring them for, they need to be heard. They need to speak. So there are
Right.
so many areas of work that I want to help people build up the department like HR. That has been my expertise and my knowledge.
Right.
I would want to replicate that and use that if it can benefit somebody. I would want to do that in an organization where I help them to build an entire HR department, help build, making responsibilities, because that's what, again, I say leadership is all about. Na? Leadership is not when you are sitting there and the team is doing. Leadership is when you are gone away also. आप एक legacy छोड़ के जाते हो. Your seniors also follow your legacy. That's called legacy. Legacy is just not your juniors. Legacy is also when the seniors follow it. वो आपने legacy छोड़ी हुई है, उसे legacy कहते हैं. So this is what I intend to do even further to help people out in doing that, especially the women's. And especially at this age that I am, where menopause hits so badly, and women feel that ho gaya, we are good for nothing. But well, you have so much more in that you need to contribute to, and they just need to be so much welcomed in life. And someday when I write my biography, yes, that's in my mindset.
You
Maybe,
should definitely do that. You should. I thought told you on the first meet only. Team, this book is so wonderful, but you are not going to stop here. You're going to write your biography. You're going to write something about your corporate experience, and you're going to write something about your personal experience also.
See, that
so these
goes
are the three books
uncensored. Now, when you write biography, that goes uncensored. फिर आप censorship में नहीं जीतते. That's not called biography. So for sure, someday I would want to, because that's how the world has to know the reality. ना जब आपको reality को जब बताना है लोगों को, तो आप अपनी biography तो लिखोगे. That is the reason I stopped myself this year, because there has to be a chapter added for my biography to be complete. But before that, too many before that, I'm sure you're going to encourage me to write much more, many more books.
You at like your worstest limit, I will say. I'm going to
नहीं यार, बख्श दो, इतना नहीं करो, थोड़ा जी लेने दो.
No, ma'am. See, your books are, speaking about belong to yourself, I'm being blunt, very blunt. I don't review those books, be it published by Peachbling or any other publisher. I'm an avid reader. I only review those books and I only read those genres which mean something to me. And when I am reviewing a book, and you may not see me pushing people so much to read any of other Peachbling's book, because for a reason, because this book is something that everyone can relate to, not even only the women sector, but also the males as well. So when we discussed about this initially, when we are marketing it, it may seem a perception to all the viewers here that it is very women oriented, but I would really like to clear this misconception that no, it is not only about women. It has those values, those insights that helps men too. Yeah, Pinky.
I am very compassionate when it comes to men.
Yes.
I think my entire career has been around men. That's how, as a woman, I have survived. So most of my boys, I mean, I think, so I am very compassionate when it comes to men. I am not the feminist to, because my boys in my organization were dating when they joined me, Nikita. I have seen them getting married, having children, and leaving that life. So I think I have a lot of compassion and love for the gender at the same time, and a
Right,
lot
and
of
it should
respect
be
at the
there.
same time, and a lot of
Yeah,
respect at the same time.
right, right. Okay, great. It was an amazing time talking to you. We had many insights and many kind of knowledge and experiences that you said it has always helped me, but I'm sure it will help all the viewers here and the other people who are going to see this after we post it on our timeline. So for ending, I would really like everyone to know that Belong to Yourself is was launched a couple of days back, and it is now available for you to buy on our website as well. You can get it on Amazon Prime as well now. It is available on Kindle. It is available on Swiggy Mini and Flipkart as well. For those people who would like to read it in an e-version on your phone, you can find it on Kindle at a very affordable price as well. And thank you so much, Pinky, for being here and for writing this book also. It was an
I'm
honor
grateful,
to
and
have.
it's not only about the number of sales of the book, but I think the way you and Urmi have been around, I am so very
Mhm.
thankful for that, Nikita, for that maturity and understanding. So it's
Most
not only
welcome.
the numbers which matters. I had three women telling me that you inspired us
Mhm.
to do this in our life where they have they've been into a tough time right now. So that's rewarding for me. That is rewarding. Than just the numbers of books. It's rewarding if one person can be inspired to be doing something like this. That's rewarding. So thank you very much for being there, Nikita, and thank you for all the audiences and all those who have bought my book. I'm so very thankful for believing in me, and all my Facebook friends. Love you lots,
Oh,
as always.
it was great talking to you. I'll
Lovely
connect you.
questions. I enjoyed.
And great,
It was a satisfactory interview.
yeah, and great answers. And there was a lot that I learned in this interview as well.
I do. I keep on doing that with you all the time. So thank you for being there and thank you for the person that you are. Stay blessed. Lots of love. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you, Nikita. Bye bye. Bye.